going on with the way men are talking to women these days?
Oh, it's the red pill content, and it's now so officially widespread and unavoidable that whilst it was originally aimed at people in like their 20s and high school, middle school years, it's reached people in their 30s and 40s, and I want to talk about it today because I've started to notice it too. Although in fairness, it really started to pick up and gain traction around like 10 years ago, so males in their 20s are now in their 30s and approaching their 40s, and this is how you ruin entire generations and spans of males and dating for everyone. And if you're not familiar with red pill content, it's a lot of things now, but originally started as like male, like gym bro influencers trying to like teach beta males how to get women, but they would teach them all the wrong things so that they never actually got women, and they would be continually reliant on their channels. But a huge problem with that, besides the fact that men are literally just keeping each other down, is that women also have to deal with the outcomes of this, because it's teaching them to treat women like garbage, and apparently that's how you get girls, which obviously never works. And it became so prevalent that I literally gave up on dating a few years ago because it was so irritating to deal with such horrible little men.
Okay. Do you guys think that red pill men are ruining relationships of today? Nikki, Angel?
No, I do not.
You don't think these men that are on these podcasts, having a mic, saying what they're saying, preaching what they're preaching, what is that? The Tonight's Conversation guy. We have other podcasters. You don't think that's kind of brainwashing some of these men at times?
Give me an example of give me one example of what you think may be a little bit extreme.
No, it's not extreme. It's just their talking points. It's some of their talking points. Oh, go ahead.
So for me, I just think that man has gotten, it's just a little soft right now. I think that, and this is going to be probably a little confrontational, but I really just think that women have ruined our communities. I also think that is a product of us being single and dealing with the stuff we're dealing with, single motherhood. And it's a product of our society. We raising emotional men. They don't have anyone else to look up to. And I think that we have a voice, and people have been listening to us for decades say the things we do denigrate men. And I just feel like it's okay for men to have a space.
I do think, though, that some of the rhetoric that they spew, I think, is definitely a detriment. So, for an example, to give you an example, maybe what Q would be talking about is, oh, to get a woman, you must ignore her or ignore that B, or, you know what I mean? Don't, if she's going on a date with you, don't spend no money on her or give her X, Y, and Z test, right? So I don't necessarily think red pill, I guess.
What part of that don't work?
When I think that's what I'm saying. I don't think that we as women realize how far we have pushed men to just have a voice. You get what I'm saying? I think that it's gotten to the point where they're just like, okay, now some of that is, some of it's right. I'm not going to.
It's women's fault. The men ain't men.
I won't say
that. With a bit more context, depending on that situational, but for the most part, just from what I'm seeing, if we talking about overall, I say it's everybody's fault. First of all, I want everybody to take accountability for the BS. That's what I want. But that's not going to happen because I think that we have been empowered and emboldened for so long to just operate out of our emotions, and the men been kind of just like happy wife, happy life, and that's just not cool, because sometimes we can be a bit irrational. So I don't think that men should cower down. I think they should stand up. I even think that, for me, it would be beautiful if we can go back to the old days where men would no way possible let these gangs take over our streets. It just wouldn't happen, because they would get out there and they wouldn't be dependent on, well, where's the white man and he gave it to us. You ain't selling dope on this street.
No. See, guys have wised up. Go, Angel.
Yeah, they're not doing it.
I think the red pill community.
Hold on. Go ahead, Angel.
I can say this. With a lot that I see, especially with me being as young as I am, and experiencing
how old are you?
Talk to different men and stuff like that. It's like,
how old are you, Angel?
24.
Okay.
I feel like women have done a lot to men, and I feel like men are now trying to take back like their worth by like, okay, I've recently just learned about this red pill dude. So from the ones that I have heard was like, you know, they don't spend money on a girl, don't text her back as fast, stuff like that. And I feel like it's a way to not be in a way, it's a way not to be the woman's like on call person, you know, because as women, I feel like we I don't know how to explain this, but like as women, we like so quick to, I don't know, like want them to do this and that, and like for them not to text you back as fast, or for them not to buy you something first just to see what you're gonna do or how you're gonna present yourself to them is another reason why they're like taking a stand on doing something about, you know, like just living in their like masculine areas and things like that.
Like the buy me the Birkin culture.
If it wasn't a market, like if everybody was satisfied and all guys was being successful and all of that, then y'all saying it wouldn't even exist, right? Because think about it. You can't create a market for something where people have no interest in. All right, let's go back. Do you realize that every single song in the 90s was the opposite? It was dudes begging, baby, please.
Yeah. I like
please
that.
Don't go. Whatever it takes to get you.
To the 70s.
Amen.
Yeah, they've been begging forever.
They've been begging since the 60s.
As they should.
I mean, so no, they shouldn't. Q.
No, the hell.
Think about it. The guy that begged y'all is not the guy that y'all want.
He the one man.
I mean, that's not necessarily true. I feel like too, even out with the songs now, I feel like it's to kind of placate the male ego a little bit. And I will say this: it's easy to say red pill conversations are X, Y, and Z, right? Until we have to hold men accountable. For an example, we can even bring up Kevin Samuels, right? Mm-hmm. His original content focused on having men become better men, right? Mm-hmm. But then he kind of switched his rhetoric a little bit to have his conversations have more red pill philosophy to it.
You're wrong.
You said I'm wrong?
100%.
Women got in his business.
Kevin, I was gonna say women was calling him.
Yeah,
so,
they called him.
Hold on.
But have you heard the matter is this?
Though, the fact of the matter is this: Kevin was harder on men than he was on women.
He should. He's a man. He can tell men how to.
But you're missing it. All red pill is it tells you the truth of what the nature is that you're facing. It's not to tell you. You may have a bad actor that labels themselves red pill and gives a bunch of bad advice or say, hey, this is how you go fuck hoes or all of this other type of stuff. That does not automatically mean that that's what red pill represents. And it's gotten a bad name because of the different actors that then take it and manipulate it into being something completely different. All red pill is to tell. Red pill can be applicable to anything. It's not just to women. It's not just to relationships. It could be money. All it does is it removes the veil from your eyes to show you what the truth is. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you a couple different examples. The truth is, for example, is that if you get married without a prenup, but you get married to somebody that wasn't originally shooting in the gym with you, then it's a strong possibility that the family court laws that is set up at a time where women didn't have the options that they have today could put you at a disadvantage and have her take half of your shit when she wasn't with you shooting at the gym. That's just the truth. That's not something that they made up. The truth also is that women advocate against updating family court laws while advocating for the freedom to do what they want to do, while at the same time saying we deserve just as much pay as men because we work just as hard. So why wouldn't you update family court laws that were created at a time that wasn't beneficial? You know, it was beneficial to women because women didn't have the same rights that they have today. The truth is that women advocate against it.
Anton, what laws need to be updated?
Give me a second. Give me a second. On the flip side, you can say economically, you know, the truth is you can't spend your way to wealth. You know what I'm saying? On a very basic level, we always say, oh, generational wealth, generational wealth. It's a bunch of bullshit. If you break down the true cost of home ownership, it's not necessarily beneficial for everybody because we don't take into account the true cost of maintenance, property taxes, escrow. And that's why you see a lot of people on the internet right now saying, oh my God, my mortgage jumped from $3,500 to $5,400 a month, because they didn't take into account all of the additional costs. And you can say, oh, okay, well, generational wealth is making sure that we own a home forever. But in reality, you're not taking into consideration the true cost of when your property increases in value, you don't get that realized value because you didn't sell the house yet. And you're getting this 30-year mortgage in which the first 10 to 15 years, you're only paying interest. So you're dependent on the value of the house to raise. But then at the same time, you're paying more maintenance and you're paying more property taxes, which it creates a net negative sometimes depending on where you actually buy that property at. So the truth is that it's not just a term that we can apply to it to say, hey, everybody buy a home, because it's not conducive for your lifestyle depending on where you buy it, how you buy it, what your property taxes are, and how much it skyrockets. You see everybody in DC, a lot of them are going into the negative because the federal workers is getting laid off. And now people can't even sell their home because it's flooded. You go over to Florida, you see everybody having a problem selling their home because everybody trying to get out of it. And these condos is you know what I'm saying? They getting high HOA fees. Like, we don't add all of that in there. And so basically all Red Pill is to break down the truth and to remove the veil from the talking points so that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. If a dude decides that he still want to get into a relationship even after having the information, cool. It doesn't mean that men are angry towards women. The problem is that women don't like the fact that men are becoming more educated about what they got to deal with.
Anton, what red pill meetings talk about all that?
I don't know any meetings
or conversations, because any real pill rhetoric I've ever heard do not touch on none of that.
But that's because you're not in the spaces to actually listen to it. If you act, I'll even listen. And I hate to do this. Because I don't even rock with Fresh and Fit. But the truth of the matter is, if I'm being 100% objective, is that most people pay attention to their late night show where they kicking women out. But a lot of their content is focused on making sure that the guys get their education when it comes to finances and cryptocurrency. They do a lot of shows on real estate, finances, cryptocurrency, credit, all of that stuff. But they don't get, and again, I'm not a fan of them or anything like that, but I have to be objective enough to say that they do the majority of their content on educating guys on fitness, making sure that you get healthy, getting your finances right. They do that stuff. That is a part of Red Pill content. It's not all about women. That's just the part that's popularized.
That's what they also push because they know they can get paid by being cruel to women on their show. Like, granted, yeah, there are different levels, and they do have content where they allegedly tell men about, getting fit and getting money, but that's not what their real focus is, because that's not what's driving their revenue. Well, in fact, they've been demonetized from almost every platform, but when they were still monetized, the most of their monetization came from the crazy interactions between them and women in their studio. It wasn't because they were going viral for telling men to invest in whatever, and 100 men did so, and they all became millionaires. That never happened. They only go viral from pulling up bullhorns and calling women bitches and throwing them out and telling them that they're the reason that they got raped. I've literally heard them say, "Oh, well, you got to kind of consider you chose him. If you got violated,
You're missing the point.
Pardon?
You're missing the point. The point
I'm not
that
missing
I was
the point. I
making
wasn't even
is,
done making my point. If you'll let me finish. So
okay,
what I was saying was that what I was saying was that the like what Jess was saying, the overall consensus of Red Pill is not to prop men up and make them better. That might be a sub part of it, but the majority of it is we're men, they're women. We are better than them. Women are the enemy. They're against you. They want to use you. They're no good. They have this negative
mindset and
You're
idea
wrong.
about women and companionship. And I think that they talk more so to men who never really knew who they were as men and never really had positive interactions with women. And so now those men are bitter and upset because they're kind of lame and they don't really know how to engage with women just off of their personality. So they look at people like Fresh and Fit or these other hardcore red pillars that say, you need the money, you need the access, and that's how you get the bitches. And it's
That's
like, no,
not what
you're
they
talking
say,
to
and that's how
you're talking to, that's what
That's
they
not what
say.
they
No, that's
say.
literally what they be saying. And it's
It's
like, yeah,
not.
you might get a certain type of woman with that. You might
It's
attract
not
a
true.
certain type of female with that. But for me, when I hear a lot of this red pill shit, it don't sound like any type of man that I would ever want my daughter to date because
What
they don't sound
percentage
like
of
they don't even sound like they
That's not.
genuinely like
Hold
women.
on.
They don't even sound like they like women.
Before you
They
go,
just
bro.
want
She's
women
wrong.
to know. They're like they feel proud because they have a platform to say, I'm a man, I got money, and I can tell you to your face that I only want you around just to fuck you. And if you don't like it, then fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been thrown a bone and now they're carrying it around and thinking that being mean and cruel and nasty towards women is what gets them women,
Who are you
which
talking
is
about? Fresh
like
and Fit?
very stupid to me.
Fresh and
It's
Fit?
very stupid to me.
We
Like,
listen. I'm
Yeah.
not speaking on him. I use him as one example to illustrate a point about the fact. First of all, y'all again, and it just shows you
that's not
how
no. Everybody
easily
has an opinion. Everybody's opinion's not wrong just
Wait,
because
Jazz, you gotta let him finish.
you're 100% wrong.
you
And
wrong
just
on a lot
because
of
it's your
stuff.
opinion, don't mean it is right. You're wrong.
Exactly. But
You're
no, but
wrong. The fact of the matter.
you
Listen.
can't tell me my
And
opinion is
do you
wrong,
even know where
sir.
red pill come from?
You can't tell me my opinion is
Do
wrong.
you know where red pill comes from?
It doesn't matter. You can't tell nobody
It
their
does
opinion is
matter.
wrong.